YouTubers out there. This is Dan Drusky as your guide, going through my Bob Hope VHS collection. And I have here about 27 of his films. I wish I had make it even to 30 or something like that. Yep. Bob Hope is one of the old-time comedian actor from throughout the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, even in the 80s. Yep. He was born on May 29 in England in 1903, and he died at the age of 100 on July 28, 2003. He lived a long life, just like compared to George Burns. Yep. And he was been married to Dolores Hope for nearly 70 years, from 1934 up to 2003, up to his death. Yep. Dolores Hope died in 2011 in September, at the age of 101. In real life, she was a nightclub singer. During the days of his life for Bob Hope, he was in show business, like he started doing in vaudeville, something like that, a burlesque. Then he got his big break into doing some Broadway show. Then he did before in features, he did some short subjects like the Warner Brothers shorts that he did back in the 30s. In those days, the Warner Brothers shorts were in Viaphone in those days. And then he got himself break into he was co-starred in a feature-length movie musical, something like that. Like one of those days they used to call it the Big Broadcast Film Series. Yep. Not Broadway Melody thing. That's from MGM, but the Big Broadcast, that's got to be from Paramount. Yep. Let's begin with his first movie that it started it all, but he was not the leading role, but he was co-starred. This is his first appearance in the feature-length musical, The Big Broadcast, 1938. This is the movie that stars with W.C. Fields, Dorothy Lamour, Martha Ray, and Shelley Ross, and Ben Blue. Also in this film, you may get to see, for the first time, when Bob Hope sings his unforgettable theme song, Thanks for the Memories. Thanks for the Memories, that happens to be a Bob Hope theme song. They use it for the end of the show. And other films Bob Hope made, films with Shelley Ross, that is, other films like Thanks for the Memories, something like that, and some like it hot and known as the musical Rhythm Thing in 1939. And this is the 1995 release of The Big Broadcast 1938 on VHS. On the beginning of this tape has the preview of the 3 new Bob Hope movies right on home video. That includes Big Broadcast 1938, Never, Give Me a Sailor, and Way There Slide. This is the 1995 release of The Big Broadcast 1938. Don't miss having that for your video collection. That was his first movie with the Thanks for the Memories song. Now the next one we have earlier ones in the series, that is the 1938 College Swing, that stars with George Burns and Gracie Allen, Martha Ray, and Edward Heather Holton. And don't forget, in this film has Betty Grable in a small part, Robert Cummings, and the guy with the big mustache that he entertains with Bob Hope during World War II in overseas, entertaining to the troops, Jerry Colonna. You know how much I like Jerry Colonna, the voice of the March Hare in Disney's Alice in Wonderland in 1951. He was a Bob Hope sidekick in real life, Jerry Colonna. And this tape, College Swing, is the 1993 release from MCA Universal Home Video. On the beginning of the tape has the preview of his films collection and the theatrical trailer of College Swing. 1993 release. Yep. I don't have his other films, the other Bob Hope films I don't have from 1938. Never Say Die, Thanks for the Memories, and even the ones in 1939 is Cat in the Canary and Musical Rhythm. But we have here, and I don't have him, and also I don't have him in the Cat in the Canary on VHS, but I do have it on DVD. That was the first Bob Hope performance that he did in Cat in the Canary, that was starred with Paula Goddard and co-starred with Gil Sondergaard. You know I like Gail Sonniger as an evil actress back in the 1930s and 40s. That was right before she did Tylette in the Shirley Temple's Bluebird. That around that time when The Wizard of Oz was a box office success. Okay, the next one we have here, that's the first time Bob Hope ever teamed up with Bing Crosby in one of the series of the road movies. They did 7 films together, like that starts Left Off at Road to Singapore in 1940. Then they did together in Zanzibar in 41, Morocco in 42, Utopia in 45, Rio in 47, Bali in 52, and finally Hong Kong in 1962. And some of the Bob Hope films, they had Bing Crosby in a cameo appearance. In their road movies, they teamed up with glamorous Dorothy Lamour. And this film had Anthony Quinn and Jerry Colonna and Charles Corbin. I don't know if he was the father of the actor of James Corbin. Nope. And don't forget, in every road movies, Bing and Bob does the one and only patty cake routine. When they do that, when they try to get away from those villains, yep. Originally Road to Singapore is on VHS in 1992, part of the Bing and Bob's The Road to collection. And this tape was a 1992 release, and this tape was going to be reprint in 2000 or something. Or even in the late 90s. We have here another Bob Hope movie from 1940 that is the sequel to The Cat in the Canary, that is The Ghost Breakers, with lovely Paulette Goddard. Also co-stars with Anthony Quinn, Richard Collison, and Willie Best happens to be his Bob's valet. Just like with Jack Benny has Rochester, Eddie Anderson. This is a good Bob Hope film from 1940. And you know, this film Ghost Breakers, it's not compared to the Ghostbusters in 1984. This film did a remake later, in about 13 years later, with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis in Scared Stiff. This is the 1993 release, and this comes with the theatrical trailer of the Ghost Breakers. Did you know Ghost Breakers almost like it feels like watching one of the Abbott and Costello films, especially like Hold That Ghost in 1941, the one where getting the money out of the moose's head. But I'll get to in the future. I'm going to show you the Abbott and Costello VHS collection later on. Don't miss having Ghost Breakers for your video collection. This could be a good movie to watch it for your Halloween, with the ghosts and zombies in it. When they're about to go to Cuba to find the ghosts were inside of that castle. Now we have here, like Bob Hope films of 1941. I don't have Caught in the Draft, and I don't have Nothing But the Truth. The third film he did with Paulette Goddard. And this is the second road movie that Bing and Bob and Dorothy made, Road to Sansa Bar from 1941. And it's in this tape, it's not from the United States, happens to be from Canada. At the time, I got this off on eBay, and you know, I didn't know how to do eBay by myself till later. But I was only a teenager that my brother got this for me on VHS. Yep. I do just put the bidding in, and he does the paying. And this tape is from 1992 release, and it's got to be from Canada. Now we roll along to a musical extravaganza of Louisiana Purchase. That's by Irving Berlin's play. That he co-stars with Victor Moore when he was a 60-year-old senator. Yep, and this is the 1993 release, and this is the first time Bob Hope ever made a Technicolor movie, especially for the Louisiana Purchase. Yep. And this is the VHS release of Louisiana Purchase. This is the next rental tape. Yep. And don't miss having Louisiana Purchase for your Bob Hope collection. This is a pretty good movie. Now we have here like one of his spy comedies that he co-stars with Madeline Carroll in the 1942's My Favorite Blonde. Did you know My Favorite Blonde was 3 of the My Favorite series? that he did, the first one that he left off was My Favorite Blonde in 1942. Then the 1947's My Favorite Brunette, and the 1951's My Favorite Spy. Also, this film has Gail Sondergaard and George Jolo, yep. Also in this film, that has like Bing Crosby in a cameo, and also in that scene when they're doing like the doctor's thing in there, you might recognize one of the spoiled kids in it, members of the Our Gang, Carl Alfalfa Schweitzer. The only thing was missing was having his hair thin in it, with the point. That was when he was with Hal Roach, before he was with MGM. And this tape is 1993 release of My Favorite Blonde, and this tape is probably in the late 90s reprint of My Favorite Blonde. The next movie that we have here in this collection is one of the funniest road movies of all times, the 1942's Road to Morocco. Yep, Anthony Quinn was co-starring in it. One of the memorable scenes in the movie when Bing and Bob are riding on the camel and they singing "We're all from the road to Morocco." Yep. And that's why Leonard Maltin says Road to Morocco is one of the funniest road movies of all times. This is the 1992 release, comes with a theatrical trailer of Road to Morocco. I even have Road to Morocco on DVD. I used to have the 1998 release, had no bonuses, but now I have the Bible Trivia Collection edition of Road to Morocco on DVD. Comes with some bonuses and the sing-along of the film. Yep. Don't want to miss having Road to Morocco for your video collection, because they say Road to Morocco is one of the funniest Bob Hope and Bing Crosby road movie of all times. After that film was made, everybody from the Paramount lot has like all-star cast musical in Star Spangled Rhythm. Bob Hope was in there, Betty Hutton, Bing Crosby, Victor Moore, Eddie Bracken, Dorothy Lamour, Paulette Goddard, and Vonica Lake, Alan Ladd, yep, Walter Abel, William Bendix, and many more. In the 1942's Paramount All-Star Cast musical. That means they're not exactly in the role, but they had like small parts. Just like with Eddie Cantor and Thank You Lucky Stars, but all the Warner Brothers stars were in it, even Bogey. Yep.